see it.
Welcome to Gojira Tech. I'm your host, Jake Behrens.
And I'm Brad Ballou. We've got some good tech news for you today. Speaking of which, there was a stolen MacBook victim in New York that used the screen sharing and back to her Mac to bust the thieves that had stolen her MacBook. Now, back to your Mac is just a feature of a .Mac account that lets you do screen sharing, and you can capture, photos or video through your iSight camera. Jake, what do you think? Is this a feature Apple implemented accidentally and it could be pretty cool? Or
I think that's one of those features that I think this is like one of the a second or third case of this happening where people have actually used this kind of functionality to find out who's using their computer. I think it's fantastic. I mean, that they have that. So
they busted the thieves who had also stolen some other iPods and the home stereo equipment.
See, that's the important part, though. Like, I know in several other cases, the cops said, "Sorry, that's so what." So, it really depends on your law enforcement where you are. But I think if you can use it to bust criminals, perfect.
Groovy.
In other news, Netflix has developed a player. Well, they actually haven't developed the player, but they're releasing the player. It's called Netflix Player by Roku. The player runs $99, and it's basically just a black box that sits on top of your TV, and you can use the Watch Instantly feature from Netflix. This box features component, composite, HDMI, optical audio out, Ethernet, and it's also got built-in wireless. So, Brad, I think this is a good little follow-up to Apple TV. I mean, if anything, it's helping people move everything off the computer into their home.
What's the advantage that I get other than just streaming it through my browser?
Well, I mean, the advantage that you get here is that you can actually connect it to your TV directly. You don't have to go through your PC or anything like that. It comes with its own little remote control. So it basically ties into your Netflix account, and then you just go from there.
That could be neat, possibly. We'll see.
The downfall, though, is that it's not providing DVD quality. It's near DVD quality, but not quite there yet. So I'll have to see how that pans out.
Yes. Also, Google has announced this month their Friend Connect, which is basically an open social networking that you can put on your own website or your own blog. Google offers code snippets. You can pick and choose from different options of the open social, and you can take them and put them right on your website. What do you think?
That's pretty cool. I mean, it depends what they have available for people to use.
We don't have to know any programming to do it. It's all copy and paste, and then you can have some social type features on your website. So
I guess people could probably even use it on their MySpace page, things like that. Maybe. Maybe. It's the big question. Well, cool. We'll see if it pans out to be anything special. In other open social news, kind of a follow-up to that, rumors are saying that Facebook will be turning their Facebook platform to open source. And this comes off facing pressure against the Open Social Network, which is now backed by Google, Yahoo, and MySpace. And essentially this allows people to make their sites work with Facebook applications. So they can basically, the same kind of thing as the Friend Connect, they can use Facebook applications that have already been developed, use them in their site, and kind of run their site off those applications.
That's good. I always love open source.
Yep.
It's a good thing.
So, and they say you can even modify the code and everything, well, obviously, being open source. But
And also, I was hearing that Facebook is coming out with a facelift to clean up some of the clutter on their pages. They're going to implement that in June, is what I've heard. They've been working on it since January.
That's a really good idea because MySpace, that is where they completely lack.
Terrible.
Their design is horrible.
Next bit of news, DNS trouble knocked NSA off the internet. I read this article on computerworld.com, and NSA.gov's DNS servers were offline for a day earlier this month. There are several possibilities. It could potentially be a hacker attack that took them offline, or several other just internal issues they've had. And one major problem that they need to fix going forward is both their authoritative DNS servers were on the same machine, using two different IP addresses to the same machine. If they had two different machines, well, when one failed or was compromised, it could have defaulted to the other one. So that's kind of scary. NSA's, DNS down for a whole day.
Yeah, it doesn't really surprise me that much. that the NSA, of all people, would not have such a secure setup rigged up. But
I don't know. Speculation. I don't know if we'll ever know what really caused it. But if you were trying to send an email to someone really important at the NSA earlier this month and you haven't heard a response, you might try again.
Or you might be getting arrested soon.
Yeah.
Either way.
Who knows?
Samsung has announced that they have developed a 256 gig flash SSD. Now, what this is it's one of the all-in-one solid-state hard drives, and the big benefit of this is that it reads at 200 megabytes per second, or double the rate of the 128 gig version. It also boosts write speeds of 160 megs per second instead of 70 megs per second, where most of the bottlenecks have occurred. And hopefully they're going to be releasing this later this year. Word is that Intel is also releasing a big, larger version of the SSD drives. That's pretty cool.
That is cool. I give that article a tick, yeah. Because it's going to make our computers, boot up a lot faster when it's retrieving all the data off the drive.
Yep.
I'm all about these solid-state drives because that's going to be the wave of the future. You're going to see less hard drive failures where people just lose all these pictures and their own personal stuff.
Right.
And they're going to be faster.
Well, and this also comes off the whole MacBook Air only having 64 gigs for its solid state version, which is a $1,000 upgrade. And that, number one, to me, is just too much money for not enough hard drive space.
You could get the same thing on a Dell model for like half the price to upgrade. So I don't know where Apple was getting its vendor there from, but
well, apparently the technology is getting better, and that's the one thing that Samsung did say, is that creating these drives is a lot cheaper process now. So hopefully we'll see these coming more into light and being a lot more affordable.
Great.
So that's all the time we have for today. Don't forget, you can reach us through our email at gojiratech@gmail.com, which, by the way, we are looking for a new name. So if you have any ideas, please submit them. gojiratech@gmail.com. That's all we got.
See ya.